Hi friends, long time no see. If you're new here, my name is Courtney. I am a stay-at-home wife, mom, and aspiring author. So I thought it has been a really long time since I have posted anything, and my intentions were to come on last year and be more consistent about posting and updating and writing and all of that. And none of that really happened for like a multitude of reasons. I just hadn't expected. Well, I mean, I think there are three like major reasons. So the first one is that I had been keeping my grandson during the day while my daughter was at work. And as much as I love and adore him, he is an absolute sweetheart. It was exhausting. I had him for the entire workday, 4 days a week. And by the time he left, in the late afternoon, I was tired. And then on the weekend, I was kind of catching up to things that I needed to do throughout the week that I hadn't gotten around to. And so writing got pushed to the bottom of the list of priorities, and certainly like creating content was even like further down that list of priorities. So that was a thing. And then I lost my dad in May 2023, and I just hadn't expected how much like riding that wave of grief would feel, I guess is what I'm trying to say, or how much other stuff it would like bring up for me in some kind of way. My mom passed away in January 2020, and then my dad. And I think that when you lose your parents in a short amount of time, no matter how old you are, it's just like a gut punch, and you feel really unanchored. And it's just, I don't know, like if you have never been through it, it's really kind of difficult to explain that your entire world has shifted. But then everything around you is just kind of going on like it's normal. So that was really hard for me in ways that I had not really anticipated. I mean, I had thought that I would feel a type of way around like the anniversary of his death, but it really just kind of flowed all year. And then one of my really good friends lost her mom, and that sort of brought some of that like back up to the surface for me. So there was that. And then there was just that like ever present voice in my head telling me like I wasn't good enough and what I was writing was trash, and like just that sort of negative self-talk just really, I think, in combination with those other two things, it really like did a number on me and my self-esteem and my self-confidence. And it was not a great place to be. So I actually stopped writing for a couple of months, and then picked up the draft that I had been working on, that I had intended on publishing, and reread it and kind of pulled some things out that I did really like, but essentially started reworking it as if it were like a brand new story. I changed a lot of things about it. And if you're new here, I write romance, contemporary romance. My main characters are all in their 40s and 50s. So a lot of it has changed. The setting has changed. The names of the characters have changed. And the order in which I thought I would want the books to come out in has also changed. So when I originally started like thinking about the book, it was a series, loosely connected, kind of in the same place, with three main characters. They're in like a friend group, so they have that dynamic. And I thought that I would release the first book that I drafted in the series first. And that one is a second chance romance. And so there's one that's like a second chance romance, and then one that I had envisioned as being sort of like a fake dating scenario, and trying to figure out like how, like the reason that two people in their 40s would even want to fake date, because it seems sort of silly that you would care so much about what other people think of a situation that you might find yourself in. So I'd really been trying to find an angle that I thought would make sense, because personally I love like fake dating, fake marriage of convenience, romance are my favorites. So that was the one I was really excited to write. And then I sort of had an idea for the third book, but not really. And so that was the last one that I hadn't even really properly plotted it out. I just had made like some notes on the third book and thought like, well, if I'm writing them in order anyway, it doesn't really matter. I don't have to have like a really firm idea of what that book is going to be. I just needed to get an idea of who the female main character was, so that when I have her interacting in the other books, like I would have a feel for the character and kind of who she should be in these other books. And then I started attempting to like beef that story up a little bit more, and it actually became the story that I liked the best. And so that one is going to be an age gap romance where she's older, not too much older, because if I'm being perfectly honest, I am just like super uncomfortable with age gaps. That's just like with huge age gaps. I don't think, especially when you're older, they're not such a big deal. But I think like 10 years on either side is as far as like that's as far as I would be willing to go, like outside of my age range if I were single and dating. So I'm 51 right now. So I could see someone dating someone who was 61 or possibly 41. Maybe a little bit older than 41. But yeah, so in my story, she's older. They have a 10-year age gap. So she is 45 and he is 35, which I don't think that that's a huge age gap for their like stage and phase in life. But in the book, this character is more uncomfortable with the 10 years than anyone in her social circle. Definitely she's more uncomfortable with it than he is. So that's sort of where we are. And as I started putting down ideas about that book, it's the one that I became the most excited for. So it is the one that I did a zero draft, and I am currently finishing up my first rewrite. It is my plan to have this book published within Q1. So sometime before the end of March. I don't have a firm date. I haven't sent it to my editor for like a read through first. But once I get it to her and get her feedback back, then I should be able to figure out how much time I'm going to need to get it to where I need it to be. So that brings me to like my first thing. My first kind of bookish update is that the first book will be published in Q1. And I am really looking forward to it. I do feel energized about writing again, despite all of the things that are currently happening. And I'm filming this on January 22nd. So yeah, we know what happened on Monday, and yesterday was just a like devastating and disastrous day for a lot of the country who had been warning people that this is what was going to happen. So yeah, and as much as I am frankly terrified about the things that are going to happen under this administration, I cannot live the way I lived the first time he was in office, which is just really letting fear and my anxiety about all of the things kind of trap me. And it really did, that combined with like the pandemic on the tail end of that really pushed me into being more just like afraid to go out in public, quite frankly, to be in public, to be social, to interact with people. And just as I'm like finding my way out of that, boom, he's back in. So I don't have control over all of those things. And so I can't keep living as if I do. I can only do the things I need to do to protect myself and my family and the people that we love, and make plans accordingly. And I think that's all that any of us can do right now. But I don't want to live with fear hanging over my head. And part of me thinks that that's the strategy anyway for them. And so, yeah, being able to kind of dive back into something creative, something that is currently bringing me a lot of joy, is really like what I need to be doing right now. So writing is providing that for me, and I'm really happy with the project that I'm working on and the words that I am writing and the progress that I am making. And as for this channel, which I think I probably said in my last video, I do want to commit to creating consistent content. I have another channel that's dedicated to like planning and goal setting and planners and all of that. And last year I was very intentional about being consistent, and was able to put out videos that I was really proud of and content that I was really proud of, and saw the growth that happened there because of that. And that is something that I want to do over here too. And so I don't know, maybe I'm only have the ability to like laser focus on like singular things at a time. Although I did have two like major goals last year that I really kind of hyper focused on. One was like devoting more time and intentional effort into that YouTube channel. And my other one was like getting healthy, losing weight, all of that, which I did. And that has really also given me like a lot of energy that I didn't have in the past, just taking care of myself, getting healthy, making sure that like internally in terms of like all of my systems, like getting blood work done, seeking treatment from my doctor for like things that were happening because of perimenopause really helped me with my energy levels as well, and helped me be able to kind of focus on eating better and consistently working out and losing the weight that I needed to lose. So I'm really very happy about that. And so, yeah, this year I want to focus on this YouTube channel. I'm also launching another YouTube channel, so I'll have 3 in total. Yeah. Okay. So I have 3 I'll have 3 YouTube channels, which sounds insane, but I also wanted to have another channel that focused on just like life and the things that I enjoy, which is kind of doing things around my house and thrifting and clothes and style and all of that. And so that's going to give me another outlet to kind of have an inward focus and bring me joy in another way. So I'm super excited about that. I will put the links to all 3 of those channels down below. Well, 2 if you're watching this one, in case you want to follow me over there. So yeah, so the next video should be, I think I'm just going to do like a day in the life vlog kind of thing, occasional like book updates and like chatty sit down videos. So that is it for today. If you have watched this video, thanks for spending some of your day with me. If you'd like to see more from me, be sure to click the subscribe button down below, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.